and welcome back, everybody. Today we are going to be playing Elemental Ritual. So the idea of this deck is we are a Birthing Ritual deck that is abusing Risen Reef. So 1 green blue, whenever this creature or another elemental creature you control enters, you look at the top card. If it's a land card, you put it on the battlefield tapped. If you don't put it onto the battlefield, you put it into your hand. So this was Nadu before Nadu. So the elementals we're playing, Risen Reef, Endurance, Subtlety, Solitude, all of these provide you some pretty good value, and it offsets the evoke cost of Endurance, Solitude, and Subtlety. So if you pitch cast Subtlety, normally you're 2 for 1ing yourself. Now it feels like you're more 2 for 2ing yourself, which feels a lot better because you're getting to replace the card that you pitched with Risen Reef and getting rid of the opponent's creature. Same thing with Solitude. Works really well together. We're also playing Birthing Ritual, so at instep, we can look at top 7, choose a creature from among them, sacrifice a creature, put that creature that we looked at onto the battlefield. So this works actually pretty well in this. So we can sack one of our 2-drops for Abhorrent Oculus or Risen Reef. We can sacrifice one of our 3-drops for Subtlety. That's not normally the best one. The best one is normally going like Quantum Riddler into Quantum Riddler, Solitude into Quantum Riddler into Solitude. Those are the ones that typically work the best. And just actually going into our elemental package right now: Endurance to get rid of graveyards, Subtlety to get rid of creatures and planeswalkers, Solitude to get rid of creatures, playing Abhorrent Oculus, beginning of upkeep we manifest, just huge threat that stays on the board pretty well. We're playing 2 Phelia. Phelia actually works pretty well in the deck. We want to blink our Ice-Fangs, we want to blink our Risen Reefs, we want to blink things like Solitude and Quantum Riddler. We can go turn 2 Phelia, turn 3 Quantum Riddler. We're playing 3 Ephemerate and 4 Consign to Memory to kind of go with our entire package here. So Consign to Memory is just good meta call in general, but we can exile things of the opponents and then keep it exiled with Consign to Memory. We can keep our creatures around. So if they would be evoked or if they would warp away, we can Consign to Memory them. We can Ephemerate to keep our Solitudes and Quantum Riddlers around, or get extra draws out of our Ice-Fang Coatls or Risen Reefs. Mana base is pretty much what you would expect: fetches, shocks, basics, surveils. Sideboard, we've got 1 Clarion Conqueror and 1 Collector Ouphe for the artifact decks. We've got 2 Wrath of Skies for the go low. We've got 3 Mystical Disputes and Force of Negation for control, 2 Force of Vigors for artifacts and enchantments, 2 Harbinger of the Seas to lock out opponents' lands. And yeah, that's the list. Let's get into some games. Okay, we're on the draw yet again. We're gonna mulligan this hand. This hand's a bit better, we'll keep it. And we'll put Abhorrent Oculus to bottom. Oh, and we're playing against Domain Zoo again, which means we're having to deal with Doorkeeper Thrall again. Here's a Ragavan. I imagine we're probably going to have to Solitude that. Yeah, it's kind of unfortunate. I think I don't want them carrying too much value, especially being on the play. We'll go ahead and fetch something blue, something green. Hedge Maze. Sure. Keep that on top. Give us something to do next turn. Alright, we'll just play a forest, pass it to the opponent. Kavu. Alright, let's go for the Ice-Fang. Another land. Ooh, how much are we willing to spend on this Birthing Ritual here? Yeah, let's just send it on the Birthing Ritual. Oh well. We're gonna take 5 off the Kavu here.
And Flage. Fortunately, we do have the Risen Reef. Let's grab our Meticulous Archive here. Honestly, I'm not mad about Risen Reef. I'm a bit upset at how low our life total is, though. Let's just go ahead and go for the Endurance. The opponent's graveyard. Move to the instep. See if we can find something good here. Since we're probably just sacking the Endurance anyways, we'll grab the Risen Reef. Yeah, free forest, I guess. Okay, there's a Flage from the opponent anyway, so another 5 damage is getting through here. Oh, it's down to 1 card in hand, though. Okay, here, let's fetch for a blue. So Risen Reef number 1. Get to Surveil here. Put it into the graveyard. Second Risen Reef, 2 triggers here. Onto the field. Into the hand. We move to instep. Oh, and Leyline Binding on our Birthing Ritual. No bueno. Okay, we're forced to block here. Well, it's sitting pretty good now. Second Kavu. Let's actually ephemerate this. Get a redraw. Solitude's pretty good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We'll be going down to 1, but we can Birthing Ritual and Solitude here. Let's lead off on the Solitude, actually. Okay. Grab the breeding bowl. Move to instep here. Hopefully we find another Solitude. Okay, we do. Excellent. So sack Solitude, get Solitude. Solitude their Kavu. Now we're still dead to Lightning Bolt or Flage at any time, though. Land. Okay, opponent just passes it back to us. We will Ephemerate the Risen Reef to draw a card here. Or at least get a card out of the way. Wow. And we play them so that way Quantum Riddler can at least do its thing. We're going to attack with Solitude here, gain some life. Alright, let's see what we can find in instep here. Oh, apparently nothing. Alright. So I'm not going to fetch here just in case the opponent does have a Lightning Bolt. Oh, opponent concedes it there. Okay, GG. Let's see what we've got in the sideboard for him. Might seem a bit strange, but I think we just want to get through the early game. So let's cut 2 Abhorrent Oculus and 2 Birthing Rituals to bring in 2 Teferi and 2 Force of Vigors. This hand's so close to being good, but because of the lack of lands, we're going to have to mulligan. I think we're just forced to run with it. We'll put one of the fetches back on. Actually, let's make sure we can thin out. We'll put a forest on bottom. Also sets us up for an Abhorrent Oculus if we need it. Ooh, an opponent has the Leyline of the Guild Pact. And leads off Arena of Glory. Okay, let's just Windswept pass. And there's the Scion. Best we can do is like delay it for a turn and hope that we find Consign off top. And sometimes the opponent just has Leyline Scion. Let's go ahead and grab our Hedge Maze here. It's so good, but we really need a Consign right now. Okay, not Consign, so on to the opponent again. Yep, there it is. Alright. Let's grab a Meticulous Archive and see if we can find a way to fight through this. You know what, it cycles and blocks for a turn, I guess. Oh, but I forgot it's got Trample. Actually, probably not the best draw there. Okay, Abhorrent Oculus is interesting. Because it does have Trample, we'll just take it here. Alright, let's grab out the last one. Lush Portico. Into the graveyard with a land number million. There's the Consign to memory that we're a little late on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's try to go for the Abhorrent. Okay, opponent grabs Leyline Binding here. What we're going to do is grab an island. And we're just going to consign to memory the trigger from Leyline Binding. Ah, well, I got the second binding. Not much we can do about that. Okay. Well, I was about to say Solitude, not bad. But it is bad because we can't target it because it's got hexproof right now. What we really need here is a Force of Vigor. Yeah, we can Subtlety this. We can certainly try anyways. Yeah, it doesn't do a ton, but something. Force of Vigor? Subtlety. So we Subtlety again. We'll have to block on the Scion. And we're alive, but we're not thriving. Alright, they try to go for it again. Let's hit them with it again. Oh. Overtapped. So we can even block all here. Let's just go for Ice-Fang block. Still put us dead to Bolt, but I think if we die to Bolt, it's not the end of the world. Okay. Endurance opens us up for the triple block. Something. Oh, but you know what? They just have another Scion, which they can haste. Yeah, because of the double Arena Glory there. Pretty rough for us. Yeah, I think we just have to run it back here. Wow, really subpar hand. Let's mulligan. We'll make it work. Put back the Lush Portico here. quite like the idea of thinning here. Go ahead and grab the Lush Portico. And onto the opponent. Alright, there's a turn 1 Ragavan. So, and it might make it obvious what we're doing here. Well, shock and a breeding pool. Okay, they're still gonna take the attack. We gotta watch out for a Doorkeeper Thrall here. Okay, no Doorkeeper. Block the monkey. Keeper Thrall's coming a little late here. So is the Subtlety. And we can flash in the Phelia and still get our ETB triggers. Take the 1 here. And let's fetch. So green, white, green, blue, blue, white, Meticulous Archive. Into the graveyard with you. And flash in Phelia. Opponent's got Bolt, they've got Bolt. Quantum Riddler would be nice. They didn't have the Doorkeeper Thrall. I think I'm just happy going for the Risen Reef. Yeah. Onto the battlefield it goes. They get their thing back. Oh, an opponent concedes it there. GG, opponent. GG. No lands. We're going to mulligan. We'll keep it. I'm not the most stoked about it. Abhorrent Oculus is the one that definitely goes back. We'll just play the breeding pool tapped and say go. And Thoughtseize from the opponent. Imagine it'll probably be Ice-Fang unless they're a graveyard deck, in which case they take Endurance. Yeah, it was the Ice-Fang there. Alright, another forest. Just play forest, say go. Phyrexian Tower. And Overlord. Ugh. Greedy Freebooter. When this creature dies, scry one and create a treasure token. Okay, now I need to understand what's going on over there. They're playing it in multiples. So we'll just go for the Risen Reef here. Okay, Quantum Riddler. Okay, there's the Greedy Freebooter. Okay, I see they're profiting mana here. Now they have 4 total mana. That casts them what? Beseech the Mirror. I cast it with Bargain, sacrificing the Overlord. Oh, Phoenix Fleet Airship. So this is a new one from Avatar. So, flying at the beginning of your end step, if you sacrifice a permanent this turn, create a token that's a copy of this vehicle. As long as you control 8 or more permanents named Phoenix Fleet Airship, this vehicle is an artifact creature. So, actually kind of a little bit of a problem. Here we can just warp a Quantum Riddler. And we'll go for the Birthing Ritual. Okay, we'll attack here. So warp trigger on bottom. So could sack the Quantum Riddler to Subtlety to draw off the Risen Reef. You know what? I think I'm okay with that. Is it the best thing to Birthing Ritual for? No, but it's something. No, I will not pay the 2 life. Okay, Overlord again. Oh, and apparently they're also just a living in deck. Something to watch out for, I suppose. Guess these aren't creatures until they are. Living in can't be that bad. Okay, notably the Phoenix Fleet airships did not trigger. Yeah, I definitely see the combo now. So you turn 1, Greedy Freebooter, turn 2, Phyrexian Tower, sack it, makes a treasure, and you get to turn 2 cast Phoenix Fleet Airship. I say pretty cool. So we can play land. Honestly, let's just go ahead and get rid of this now, because we'll get to draw off the Risen Reef. Yeah, we're probably fine to grab planes. Boop, 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 boop. Oh man, I forgot they could crew. Yeah? Keep that on top. Alright, let's see. I saw an Abhorrent Oculus, which is probably just fine to go for. Solitude also just seems fine to go for. Yeah, let's slow them down on this plan that they're trying to do. So now we've reset their airship. We draw a Phelia onto the opponent. Deck even gets to play Witch's Cottage. Seems like an interesting deck. I mean, this video will be coming out after the RC, but as somebody who's about to head to the RC, I wonder if we'll see this deck there. Okay. A Beseech the Mirror for another Phoenix Fleet Airship. And then now they'll go up to 4 of them. Okay, so let's attack for what we can here. Man, that's scary that just like next turn they can start being creatures. Yeah, we'll go ahead and play Endurance here. So Risen Reef providing us all the value in the world right now. And then yeah, let's see what we can find here. Ice-Fang Coatl. Yeah, we'll sack this to try to draw. Okay, another Risen Reef's not too bad here. So on the stack, this is still a creature, so let's Subtlety that. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then after this fetch, it'll be 6. The Phyrexian Towers are another way to continuously sacrifice for Phoenix Fleet Airship. And they've got flying to block our flyers and everything too. Yeah, this card can actually get it a hand. Okay, opponent clings to dust here. Just trying to draw a card. And yeah, we'll just go ahead and fetch here. Grabbing white, 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 green, 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 green. The Meticulous Archive. Put into graveyard to get our 6 for Abhorrent Oculus. Alright, another land here. Let's lead off first and foremost on Risen Reef. And then... yeah, we'll do it post-combat. Attack all here. Go for the Abhorrent Oculus. Well, we haven't even played land for turn. If we need to, we can Phelia. Yeah, Abhorrent Oculus is cool. Sack this. Get Abhorrent Oculus. Doesn't matter on the first one. We'll grab Solitude off the second one. And at this point, even if they do get to their fleet, Phoenix Fleet airships activating, we can probably just attack around them. Interesting thing is if you can get rid of one whenever they have the 8, they all stop being creatures again. You know what? We will actually go ahead and get rid of the Orcish Bowmasters. Alright, let's see what we've got in the sideboard. Hear me out. Sounds a little wild, but I think we cut the Ephemerates and the Consign to memories, and then bring in 2 Force of Vigors and Ashiok, 2 Teferi, Force of Negation, and Collector Ouphe. Normally not making a turn 1 play anyways. I don't think Solitude's going to be like the biggest deal in this matchup. I think it still stays, because it still gets rid of some stuff. It still triggers the Risen Reef. Honestly, I think this is fine. We'll keep. Well, let's start seizing us here. What do they want to take? Abhorrent Oculus would be the best one for us for them to take. Okay, they take Subtlety. So we will just Hedge Maze here. Quantum Riddler is not bad, but it's not great either. We'll put it into the graveyard. Okay, opponent just plays land, passes it back to us. We too will play land, then pass it back to them. Feels like Orcish Bowmasters, maybe. Let's go ahead and slam it before I can do something here, so I want another blue. That's for sure. Blue, white, Hallowed Fountain? Yeah, let's just get this out of the way. Okay, Risen Reef, I'll take it. Provided a lot of value in the last game. Okay, just land and passes. Play the plains. Let's attack the opponent here. still be Orcish Bowmasters. Which it most certainly is. So bye-bye Ice-Fang. Here we got a few different options. We could go for Phelia, permanently gets rid of the Orc Army token. We could Risen Reef to go ahead and start setting up for other things. We could go for Ashiok, that would die pretty fast, but does play around them. Beseeching next turn. Go for the Risen Reef here. Teferi. How do we feel about Teferi? I mean, oh, we get the Teferi no matter what. Alright, on to the opponent. Orcish Bowmasters number 2. That's rough for us. So, kind of looking for land off top. That lets us go for both Birthing Ritual and Phelia. Which is not what happens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We could Teferi bounce the Orc Army. Oh no, because this draws. Yeah, no, we can't do that. We could Ashiok them, and then they're forced to attack, and then that lets us go for an Abhorrent Oculus during our turn. Might just be what's best for us here. Phelia might be better, but I think I'm pretty happy trying to get this Abhorrent Oculus out as fast as possible. Okay, they go ahead and take their search. And on to them. Yeah, if I'm attacked out at the Ashiok, I could also save us some life, really. Yeah, well, so much for that specific plan. Okay, so now we could hop back on trying to Birthing Ritual plus Phelia. So I guess let's go for that plan. Might be able to block and kill an Orcish Bowmasters here. And yes, I know we could have Solituded something and then went ahead and went for the Abhorrent Oculus. I'm not that stressed about it. Okay. Well, it's got Fatal Push here. Yep. Okay, another Abhorrent Oculus wasn't what we needed. Should make them play around anything and everything. So here goes the Abhorrent. On to them. Don't think there's anything we'd be willing to sacrifice the Abhorrent for here. Oh, they Flare of Malice here. Yeah, that happens. It was just always an option. Okay, here's the ship. Don't think they sacrificed anything this turn. Nope. So let's go for... So we get to Fairy bounce this. No, because we've got this out. Yeah, let's go for the Risen Reef here. And then this doesn't technically draw. There's land. We'll go to the end step. We could just sack it for Risen Reef again. Collector Ouphe is also kind of interesting. Doesn't fully solve the problem, but at least stops them from crewing next turn. Now let's just go for the Risen Reef here. Yeah. Yeah, one card deeper and we would have hit an Oculus. If they do crew the Phoenix here, though, we can Solitude it. Okay, greedy freebooter. Okay, and they crew it. Alright, well, let's see if it sticks. Do have to get rid of the Teferi here. Okay, we take 2, down to 5. Another freebooter. Force of Vigor, you're a little late here. Alright, maybe we can trade this Risen Reef up into something interesting. So, onto the opponent. Well, I guess onto our instep. Okay, there's Abhorrent Oculus. I would be willing to sack this for our last Oculus here. And then I don't think there's anything I would want here. Okay, Solitude's not nothing. Okay, opponent besieges here. And goes for Culling Ritual. Destroy each non-land permanent with mana value 2 or less. Add black or green for each permanent destroyed this way. Okay, interesting. So gets all of those. Is symmetrical notable here. Now they have upwards of 8 mana to work with. Okay, here comes the Phoenix Fleet Ship. And a Bowmasters. So we'll go ahead and fetch here, probably for a basic island. And then we'll Force of Vigor here. That pings us. We're down to 3. Well, it's down to no cards in hand. We've got 1 Abhorrent Oculus here. And I think we should be relatively safe to attack here. Gonna have to at some point. Okay. 2 manifests here. And actually, let's go ahead and flip this one. Cut them off of their treasure. I don't think it's going to matter that much, but maybe. Okay, they drew a 4-drop. Siege the Mirror. I feel like we might get Living Ended here. Oh, speaking of Living End, we gotta be sure we keep enough creatures in graveyard, actually. Yeah, here in case they Living Ended, we probably should have kept more creatures in grave instead of exiling some of our creatures. Oh, and opponent concedes it there, GG! Alright, we had the mulligan and no-lander, we're keeping our 6. And we are putting Abhorrent Oculus. 1, 2, 3. And we actually might get to this Abhorrent Oculus eventually. Let's put the planes back. Alright, all you, opponent. Opponent's probably on Azorius control because we saw Kahira. And this... it's feeling pretty similar to that. Yeah, into the graveyard with that. Well, Abhorrent Oculus, as good of a card as it is, I really hate seeing it in my hand. Yeah, let's just shock it in. Makes it somewhat obvious what we have, but I don't care. Narset to Grave. Opponent goes for Teferi. I have to go for the Ice-Fang Coatl now. I think this might be... It's hard to say. This might be a difficult matchup for the opponent. I think it depends on whether or not they get Wrath of the Skies or not. Go ahead and green-white. Play out the Risen Reef. Get an Endurance, and onto the opponent. Opponent Brain Surges. Draw 4, put 2 from hand onto the top of the library in any order. Pretty interesting. Flooded Strand. Alright, so here I think we should be good to Forest and Birthing Ritual plus Ice-Fang Coatl. First, let's go ahead and attack the Teferi for 1. Ice-Fang. And Birthing Ritual. And we go to the instep. You know what? I'm willing to upgrade this snake into a dog. Oh, or we could upgrade snake into another snake. Let's do dog, though. Oh, Terminus. Is that everything or just creatures? Put the cards on the bottom of your library. The first card clicked will be the first card drawn. I don't think that's gonna matter. Okay. Miracles. Miracles in the year 2025. Well, kind of just get to do the same thing to the opponent again. Let's green, 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 white, white, blue, blue. Let's grab a blue here. Ice-Fang Coatl. Let's Risen Reef. So earlier I was talking about depends on how many Wrath of the Skies they have. Depends on how many Terminuses they have. Alright, on to the opponent. Arid Mesa. Grabs Plains, suspicious. Do we want to do the same thing? Yeah, let's just get Deja Vu. Back this... Actually, let's grab Endurance. And let's hit... Do we even want to hit their graveyard? They've probably got something that cares about their graveyard. Alright. Land on the field. All the opponent again. Rain Surge. I mean, we'll have to get there eventually, right? Deck just has so much card advantage. We've still got 6 cards in hand. Ice-Fang Coatl makes it another. We've got Birthing Ritual out. Let's plow through things. We're close to an Abhorrent Oculus. We can actually Abhorrent Oculus as early as next turn. Okay, opponent shuffles away the top, so unlikely that we're going to have to worry about... Ah, okay. Galvanic Discharge happens. Wonder what other miracle effects they're playing besides Terminus, if any. There's Entreat the Angels, which lets them make a bunch of 4/4s. There's the one that lets them take an extra turn. There's Narset. Narset's actually kind of an issue for us, since our deck does like to draw. Oh, and of course they've got the Days Undoing. Yeah, okay. Opponent's got a fresh 7. We've got a fresh nothing. Let's rid of the Teferi here. Narset's still pretty annoying, but... And I'm taking a Abhorrent Oculus. Opponent finds the Teferi off of the Narset. Actually pretty annoying because I get to bounce the Abhorrent Oculus here. Fetch. Hedge Maze? I don't know. Subtlety is normally not bad. Put it on top. I think we just cast it and hope to hit a birthing ritual or something. Oh, okay. Orum's Chant. Nothing for us here. Oh, we can't even attack. Okay. On to the end step then. Yeah, nothing for us. All you, opponent. Do control players like playing control? Do they like this? Okay, Risen Reef is something. I'm gonna get the Galvanic Discharge off of Narset, and with 2 extra energy laying around, it is enough to kill Abhorrent. Okay, they bounce Abhorrent to hand. Cycle Lorien revealed. Prismatic ending the first manifest. So yes, we could have flipped the Risen Reef here, but I want to be able to kill the Teferi. If they'll allow us. Yeah, I didn't think so. And then I guess let's just... Subtlety here. And then maybe we can find a 5-drop off of the Birthing Ritual. Okay, they Subtlety our Subtlety. I would have preferred them just counter it, then we'd have another card in the graveyard so we could cast Abhorrent Oculus. Get attacked for 3. We will attempt to Solitude. Stern Scolding, sure. Play this, pass on. Oh, fun, Gaia Reach Sanitarium. Say yep. So we don't get to draw for turn. Okay, took me a moment to figure it out. Okay, Bring Surge. Okay, somehow the Abhorrent Oculus sticks. We're just gonna leave it be. Quantum Riddler's cool. Oh, there's a Terminus. Oh boy. And we just don't get to draw for the rest of the game. Yeah, opponent's got us locked out. But we'll see as much of their deck as we can. Okay, and yeah, opponent just gets us here. Weirdly enough, maybe it's 2 Mystical Dispute, or sorry, 3 Mystical Dispute, a Force of Negation, 2 Teferis, and a Clarion Conqueror, cutting the 4 Consigns and 3 Ephemerates. Solitude's probably not super necessary, but honestly, I'm just looking for threats. The more creatures we have, the better. Okay, I'm fine with this. We'll keep. Let it off. Flooded Strand go. Grab a Meticulous Archive. You know what? Yeah, that's fine on top. On to the opponent. Go for an Ice-Fang Coatl. Down to Risen Reef. Do we go for the Risen Reef or do we go for Birthing Rituals? Swing for one before anything else. You know, we're gonna go for the Birthing Ritual here, because if they have like Galvanic Discharge, the Birthing Ritual does nothing this turn. Let's see. Blue, white, green. Let's go for green, blue, so Breeding Pool. Counterspell? Yeah, just good old-fashioned counterspell. Meticulous Archive. Okay, second verse, same as the first. Okay, similarly on the opponent's side. Let's hit with our 1/1. One tries to go for Teferi. We are going to Subtlety that. Pitching Quantum Riddler. We draw a land. I prefer go for both of these. Subtlety. Fairy's back. Back again. Returns Abhorrent Oculus to hand. Okay, we go ahead and Prismatic ending the Manifest token. So here, shock this in. Go ahead and attempt to attack the Teferi. Solitude, okay. So puts them down to one card in hand. So let's Birthing Ritual. And Abhorrent Oculus. And onto the opponent, we're just going to say no to both of these. And yeah, we'll take an Endurance. Okay, Misty's not particularly exciting. We can attack the opponent, attack to Teferi. Oh, do they just have Solitude here? Oh, Wan Shi Tong. That is a card. Yeah. Wow, they actually get to save their Teferi here. Here I was being like, oh, you know, there's no creature that they would flash in besides Solitude, but, here I stand corrected. Okay, well, let's go ahead and get rid of that. Problem Bird. Yeah, we'll go ahead and do this, why not? Alright, now it's your turn. Ooh, Phelia's nice. Opponent Brain Surges. Yeah, nothing of ours we'd want to blink. Let's leave that as hidden information for now. Attack to Fairy. Attack Teferi. Attack opponent. Okay, with much effort, the Teferi is down. And now let's flip this. That way at instep we can possibly sacrifice it. So yeah, I don't think we want any of these. But I will sack a Phelia for an Abhorrent Oculus. Alright, we got 2 eyeballs. And let's hope the opponent doesn't have Terminus on top here. Oh no, they fetched. They definitely don't have Terminus. At least not intentionally. Oh, now they might. Okay, we got through the draw step. Go ahead and flip this. Special action, that is. Okay. Get to go to game 3. We'll just run it back. I think this is a reasonable hand. We'll keep. Oh, I just realized. No Kahira revealed from the opponent. Oh, that's because of the Wan Shi Tong. Right? Is it a... It's not an elemental. It is a bird. Does Kahira care about birds? Oh, I gotta look something up. No, so Wan Shi Tong must be a sideboard card. Let's see. We'll just grab out the Hedge Maze here. Oh. Yeah, we'll put it on top. Do want it. Alright, so here let's grab white, green, Temple Garden. Go ahead and cast this beautiful snake. Okay, there's land drop. Go ahead and attack opponent for 1. And then let's go ahead and yeah, let's Clarion Conqueror. Hopefully nothing too bad happens as a result of this play. Okay, gets countered. That's inevitable. Absolutely not, mister. Attack the opponent. Whenever they inevitably Teferi again, we'll have Subtlety up again, this time hard casted. Yep, I'm going to grab a blue-white here. Blue-white is Hallowed Fountain. And time to Subtlety and hope the opponent does not have Mystical Dispute. Alright. Make it through another turn. Okay, Galvanic Discharge is what it is. And then here... It's like, would we rather keep up Mystical Dispute and Endurance, or go ahead and go for the Quantum Riddler? You know, while their shields are down, let's go for the Quantum Riddler. Yeah, it might get Terminus, but hopefully not. That's the Ice-Fang Coatl, which feels weird. So are we allowed to attack Teferi here? No. Why would we be allowed to attack Teferi? What a silly notion. Green, blue. And onto you. Really? Just natural terminus off top? Wild. So now that means that they're gonna get quite far with this Teferi now. Oh man, a Narset too? Narset's last card in hand? Grabs a backup Narset. Okay, so here let's Endurance. Just shuffle neither one of them. And then I think we go ahead and go for another Endurance. Oh, which we actually have to fetch first for. So let's grab Breeding Pool. Either. Onto the opponent. So at this point, it's just whatever they're top decking. Plus, I guess, whatever they find off this Narset, which is a Mystical Dispute. So I imagine they probably play their other Narset here. Maybe. Yep. Alright, now what do they find? It's a Fairy Time Raveler. Okay, so they've just got the backup Planeswalkers. So despite that, I still think we try to take these out. Attack Narset. Attack Teferi. Now we'll have up our own Mystical Dispute. Let's go for Birthing Ritual. Do we save the Phelia? Nah, I think we go ahead and run out Phelia. Let's see what we find in instep. Could trade the Phelia for another Endurance. I think we'll just say no. So here, opponent's likely to play Teferi. We'll attempt to Mystical Dispute their Teferi, and they're just going to Mystical Dispute it back. But it gets the Mystical Dispute out of their hand at least. Yep. And they bounce the Phelia. Yeah, let's send one of these at the Teferi, one at the opponent. Let's try to stick the Abhorrent Oculus here. And in case opponent rips the Terminus, we'll keep Phelia in hand. Here, I think I'm actually inclined to go for a Risen Reef. Okay, Ice-Fang Coatl's cool. We Manifest Dread, grab a Quantum Riddler. That goes for a Narset. Narset number 3, what do they find here? An Orum's Chant. Which right now they've only got one white. Let's green, blue. Draw. Light green. The opponent chooses to counterspell 3, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Go ahead and turn this face up. Let's draw an extra card here. Let's see if this does it. Does opponent have Solitude? Alright, GG opponent, GG. Alright, pretty good 7 here. We've got Phelia into Quantum Riddler, always a good combo. We've got Subtlety. Just go for Windswept Heath, pass to the opponent. Undercity Sewers, keep on top from the opponent. And then a Psychic Frog. Do we want to slow down a Psychic Frog? I'm not upset about slowing down a Psychic Frog here. Let's pitch Ice-Fang Coatl. They'll likely put it on top. Let's go ahead and fetch here too. Let's see. Definitely need green. Maybe green, white, Lush Portico. In the graveyard with that. Plenty of lands for us. And just play the basic here, pass to the opponent. Marsh Flats. Womp again. Here's the Psychic Frog. So now we'll go for the Phelia. Okay, Birthing Ritual is also interesting here, but I do think we go for the Quantum Riddler. Go ahead and play the land. Ah, Mystical Dispute. That's unfortunate. Alright, well, we can't pay for that. I guess let's at least get in on some damage here. Makes it difficult for the opponent to put counters on that at any point. Alright, opponent's gonna get a free draw with their Psychic Frog here. Yep, and we see a Fatal Push on our dog. Alright, let's go ahead and fetch. We'll grab green, blue, Hedge Maze. Endurance isn't like the worst here. It's not the best either. If I put it into the graveyard, I think we can find something better. Hopefully not a land. Okay, Ice-Fang Coatl. I'm fine with Ice-Fang Coatl here. So let's go green, blue, Ice-Fang. Okay, it sticks. Hallowed Fountain. Try to go for Birthing Ritual. I just realized they're running MAINBOARD Mystical Dispute. It's definitely a meta call, but not a bad meta call. At the end of the day, it's a 3-mana leak. At worst. And at best, it's a 1-mana counterspell. Okay, they sink into Stupor the Birthing Ritual. I think we're fine with that. Okay, opponent attacks for 1. We're just going to take it here. Does let them draw a card, but I do think I want to keep something around to Birthing Ritual with. Oh, opponent's thing is animated here. Interesting. Sorry, I'd never noticed that. Or we could just Solitude the Psychic Frog here. Kind of have to worry about a counterspell, but I do like the idea of dealing with the frog. Yeah, if we run into counterspell, we run into counterspell. Let's just grab Forest here. I think our mana's okay. Or do we wait for their turn? No, I think we go ahead and do it now. We're just giving them another moment to find another counterspell if they don't have it here. Okay, the Psychic Frog actually goes away here. We'll attack for 1. No clue what the opponent has here then. Oh. Probably a Subtlety. A Wanshi Tong, okay. Oh man, yeah. Avatar's out now. Oh, that's kind of a hit there. If we had one more basic, it would have been Death Touch. Well, this is fun at least, getting to see the Avatar cards in action. Oh, and Kaito, okay. Yep, nothing about that. I have a very similar brew to this right now that I'm looking forward to playing next week. Or I guess by the time this video comes out, it'll be this week. Probably the video after this. Or maybe not immediately afterwards, but pretty soon after. Okay, there we go. I'm not sure what's all happened since the last time we were here. Don't think much. Okay. Let's... So the Wanshi Tong can only come in as a 1 right now. I think we're safe to attack the Kaito here. Kaito. Let's go for Risen Reef. Sign of Memory is pretty good. Take it, I suppose. Get out the Birthing Ritual. Okay, and opponent Force of Negation's that one. So, on to the opponent. If the opponent tries to go for Wanshi Tong here, we do have Subtlety at least. No blocks for us. Surveils 2, draws a card. Earlier they surveilled Tamio into grave. Okay, looks like they put both on top, so both must be pretty good for him here. Okay, we find Endurance. Guess let's try this thing where we do attacks. We're just going to attack with all of them at Kaito, just in case they do have a kill spell for one of these. Okay, here, I was about to say, I think they're going for Wanshi Tong. Just hard cast this here. And hopefully they don't have a Mystical Dispute in hand. Perfect. Okay, another Subtlety for us is cool. Oh, or if they have Consign to Memory, that's also bad. Nope, okay, cool. So we dealt with the Wanshi Tong, we dealt with the Psychic Frog, we dealt with the Kaito. Maybe we're getting into a position where we can do something this game now. Opponent just Fatal Pushes that, that's fine with us. Okay, here opponent tries to go for Quantum Riddler. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we're just going to attempt to Subtlety this. Okay, land onto the battlefield. I gotta say, Risen Reef, pretty sweet card. Birthing Ritual, pretty sweet card. Here we do kind of have to worry about a little bit of Wanshi Tong. Not that bad. Oh, just going in with Solitude here. And then we will try to Birthing Ritual. We will try to Endurance. This definitely seems like the style of deck to have Abhorrent Oculus in it. Speaking of Abhorrent Oculus, speak its name and it shall appear. Alright, Birthing Ritual triggers. Anything good off Birthing Ritual? Do we want to trade Endurance here? Actually, I think I'm okay with trading Endurance for an Ice-Fang. Get some more draws going. Now on to the opponent. Okay, there's their Quantum Riddler. Yeah, they get it this time. Okay, and Tamio. I don't think it's going to make much difference if we go ahead and do this. Meticulous Archive. Put the dog into the graveyard. Think we can find something better. Okay, so here we just have Abhorrent Oculus. Do we have another... I think we have another forest in deck, so we can give the Ice-Fang Coatl Death Touch. Let's just play the Abhorrent Oculus here. Actually, let's get rid of our notable creatures in case they're playing Emperor of Bones. Okay, opponent has a subtlety of their own here. Which we're getting this back anyways, because instep will just get it off of the Ice-Fang Coatl Birthing Ritual. So let's pass it to the instep. No attacks for us. Ooh, or we could also grab Solitude to get rid of the Quantum Riddler. Get a Quantum Riddler of our own. I think I'm tempted to go for the Abhorrent Oculus here. Oh, now I have to actually hope that they... Oh, they don't have anything. Cool. Okay, Risen Reef is chill. Actually, I just realized the name Pascal Menard sounds familiar. Okay, bold attack from the opponent here. Oh, they draw a card? Oh, that's right! The Quantum Riddler drew them an extra card. And this is also drawing them extra cards. Okay, interesting. I see the vision. Not nearly as bold as I originally thought. Okay, Psychic Frog coming in. And instep, we're going to go ahead and turn this face up. And get another land out of our deck. Actually, yeah, we'll just grab Forest here. Okay, Consign to Memory. So we don't really have any good attacks here, so we'll just go to the instep, hope that we can find... Hopefully another Solitude. Solitude, sacrifice Solitude, double Risen Reef triggers would be pretty good. Hey, and we get what we ask for. Sacrifice Solitude, get Solitude. Triggers. Consign's pretty good here. The opponent has it for them. Okay, another Solitude is sick. And an Ephemerate. Okay, now we're chilling. So I just want to make sure we go ahead and get this now. White. Blue, green, I suppose. And go ahead and get their Psychic Frog too. Okay, opponent casts Sheoldred's Edict. Here... I'm probably most okay with just sacrificing our Solitude. Okay, Durance is good. Another Ephemerate's good. Okay, we Manifesting. Grab an Abhorrent Oculus. I think unless the opponent's playing a main board wipe, we might be okay here. Yep, opponent concedes it there. GG, let's see what we've got in the sideboard. Sand has lands and such, but it's still kind of meh. Let's mulligan this one. Yeah, that got so bad for us. Mulligan to 5. And we will begrudgingly keep this one, putting back land and put back the Ephemerate. Yeah, our first hand was much better. Maybe we shouldn't have risked it. Okay, Teferi helps the hand though. Okay, Thought Seized on us. Probably Teferi, I would imagine. The Birthing Ritual, okay. And second Thought Seize, yeah, this mulligan to 5's hurting. And bad. We're loading up our graveyard for Oculus, but it feels like our Oculus is probably just going to be out of this game. Grab the Meticulous Archive. Land in a graveyard. Oh, Windswept Heath onto the opponent. There goes Tamiyo. Ah, Nihil Spellbomb. Okay. Yeah, so we're probably about to get Spellbombed here. I think almost no matter what it is, we're supposed to put it into the graveyard here. Oh. If it sticks, it provides us a lot of value throughout the game. But we have nothing going for us right now. Opponent doesn't really either. You know what? We'll put it on top. We're going to assume the opponent's good enough to crack their Nihil Spellbomb. Okay, so we'll go for the Birthing Ritual here. No, we will not. And on to the... Nope, nope, nope. Ooh, just about missed my land drop there. Now on to the opponent. They're just getting to rack up clue tokens here. Yep, there goes our graveyard. They draw. We have Solitude. Don't think we want to Solitude the Tamiyo. Maybe if they start sacking clues willy-nilly, but I don't think that's going to be the case. Alright, well, it might just have us controlled out of this game. Man, an Abhorrent Oculus. That cracks a clue. You know what? This Tamiyo is just going to keep providing them value. Well, now I can't even go for it, because now they can just flip it if they want to. Yeah, we're just going to have to let the Tamiyo eat away at us. Okay, Quantum Riddler isn't nothing. Might be in the face of the million counter spells the opponent's likely holding. Okay, Orc Masters. About as much of a problem. Do get to keep the Quantum Riddler around, though. Alright, so let's consign the memory of the trigger. And maybe this will be a threatening enough blocker for them. Oh, an opponent has counterspell. Oh, well. Alright, well, we'll eventually get to hardcast Solitude territory. On the opponent. Okay, another Bowmaster's here. And Wan Shi Tong. Just go ahead and fetch here. Oh, that's right. I think I was supposed to fetch in response to the Wan Shi Tong. I'm not used to Wan Shi Tong being a card yet. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... Don't understand why they didn't swing. Oh, they did swing with the Wan Shi Tong. It just doesn't look like it because it has Vigilance. So we fetch here, this gets bigger, we Solitude there, we block there. Let's see what we can make happen. So green, 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 blue, 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 white, white. So we'll grab a plains here. Go for the Solitude. No, we won't. We'll just concede it there. Alright, here I think I'm just cutting the Ice-Fang Coatls and bringing in Wrath of the Skies and Force of Negation. Means we have very little to, like, get a fast birthing ritual off. We can just, like, flash in Phelia and then birthing ritual the Phelia to try to get Abhorrent Oculus, but... yeah, maybe we'll just use it for value, try to get some other stuff going. Take it back. I think I want to cut the Force of Negation and bring in Quantum Riddler. We're a little light on creatures here. Goodness, this hand's got too many Abhorrent Oculuses in it. Keep this one, putting a land back. Oh, it's mulliganing pretty heavily here too. They're mulliganing a 5. Alright, just play out land onto the opponent. We're just gonna go ahead and go for it here. Let's... Meticulous Archive? Oh, actually, we may have wanted a Mystical Dispute at Tamio. Okay, fortunately they didn't have a Tamio. We'll play land, pass it back to him. Oh, and actually... go ahead and fetch here, just because now we do have to start worrying about playing around Wan Shi Tong. It is a card now in Modern. Land into the graveyard here. It's really interesting. Makes me almost wish that instead of the Misty Rainforest, I would have kept the Breeding Pool. Psychic Frog, happy to Mystical Dispute that one. Okay, now it's on us. Let's grab white, blue, green, white, Temple Garden. Yeah, just in case, Temple Garden. Go ahead and go for this bad boy. Okay, Birthing Ritual, not the worst. Okay, opponent's stuck on 2 lands here. We get to Fairy. Okay, they force the negation that's a Fairy. Here, in case they can put in a Wan Shi Tong, I think I'm actually okay holding back the Risen Reef. It's not worth the 1 damage. Ugh, Orcish Bowmasters. Yep, that happens. Maybe knowing the opponent's on Orcish Bowmasters, maybe Risen Reef's not the best in this matchup. Yep, and here comes a Kaito. Opponent puts both cards back on top. Bit horrifying here. I think because our goal is to eventually Wrath of the Skies, we'll just pass it here. Quantum Riddler seems like a fine card to Mystical Dispute. And they're continuing to get value out of their Kaito. It's 2 lands in graveyard, and then still gets to draw. Here comes Tamio. Okay, Abhorrent Oculus is something here. So go for the Abhorrent Oculus. Hopefully this does us something. Do they have Fatal Push? They got the Fatal Push. Oh, and then I think that might just be lethal there. They put that up, goes to 4-6. Yep, GG opponent, GG. Good plan. Alright, we're on the draw. Both of us keep our 7. We've got a turn 3 Quantum Riddler Ephemerate. We've got Subtlety pitching Oculus to deal with a creature. We have this habit of either drawing no lands or too many lands with this deck. Now, I actually might need to go ahead and fetch, because now Wan Shi Tong's a thing in the format. Give the opponent some information on what I'm on, so let's grab Meticulous Archive. It probably gives them the least information. That on top. And Wan Shi Tong will make the format a little frustrating, because you do have to fetch early if you don't want the opponent to be getting value out of Wan Shi Tong. It kind of feels like back whenever Tishana's Tidebinder was bigger in the format. Okay, we'll go ahead and Subtlety that. Now we'll Flooded Strand, and again, in case of any hijinks, go ahead and fetch. Let's grab Hedge Maze. There's actually 100% supposed to be Lush Portico there, but oh well. Okay. Just take the line to get out the Quantum Riddler. It goes ahead and brings in the Phelia. Let's Ephemerate it. And on to the opponent. We've seen 9 lands and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 non-lands. Windswept Heath is essentially 2 lands. Oh, Flage into the graveyard. Come on now. Yeah, if they have a fetch land here that gets rid, they just get Flage right now. Okay, instead they have Fable.
Uh-oh.
Okay, normally I'd be all for getting in damage, but because we've got a Flage in the graveyard, want to draw more. Okay, perfect actually. So we've got Solitude plus Ephemerate. So let's just cycle Quantum Riddler, as we can. And then we'll play out the Windswept Heath and pass to the opponent. Interesting that opponent discards Arena of Glory of all things, considering they do have the Flage in the graveyard. Okay, so here's the Flage. And they're going for the damage on the Quantum Riddler. Question for me is why? So now we have to think they're probably grabbing something to fetch for a lightning bolt to hit the Galvanic or hit the Quantum Riddler. Okay. So you know what? Let's Ephemerate the Quantum Riddler here. I think I'm okay with that. Okay, Endurance, you're a little late to the party. Oh, really? Are they just gonna let me have a free Quantum Riddler draw for 2 damage? Okay. Let's grab Lush Portico. Right on top with you. And yeah, again, let's just get some extra draws in. Well, I was gonna Solitude Ephemerate, but actually we can just hardcast Solitudes here. Which I think is a very reasonable thing to be going for. Just do it before any shenanigans can take place. All you, opponent. Okay, here's another Flage here. Probably takes out Solitude, I'd imagine. Yeah, that's okay. We've got another Solitude following up. Oh, and they really take the attacks here. Okay. Oh, you know what? They've got Consign to memory, don't they? Yep, I bet they got Consign. Yeah, there's Consign to memory. Okay, opponent can have that. 1, 2, 3, 4. One more card in graveyard means that they get to Flage yet again. We can Endurance. But at the same time, I also want to get rid of the Reflection of Kiki Jiki. One of those moments where I want my cake and eat it too. Yeah, let's go for this line. Just get rid of as much as possible here. And then we'll Ephemerate here. Take the Phelia. And then we can go ahead and shock and Breeding Pool, and then let's go. Yeah, let's go ahead and cast the Endurance. Just don't want to run into counter spells during their turn. And go ahead and get out the Ice-Fang Coatl just because we can. And on to the opponent. So we're in a pretty okay spot here. We will just do it like this. I think they're kamikazing it because they know the Solitude's coming off Ephemerate here. Oh, remember they got something big here. Oh, are they going for Wrath of the Skies? X equals 5? That's a big Wrath. That is certainly in the realm of things you are allowed to do. Okay, well this Ephemerate's just not going to do anything. Man, we can't even draw extra because we have not missed a land drop all game. We are very far from it. I don't even know. We definitely weren't supposed to play that land yet, just in case. We draw something to play here. Why would we draw a non-land card in our deck full of non-land cards? Ridiculous to even suggest such a thing. Okay, well, let's go for Risen Reef. Technically not a draw. Okay, another Risen Reef. Green, blue, white. 2 Risen Reef triggers. Ooh, another Risen Reef. I can't cast it this turn, but be pretty interesting for next turn. Oh, something tells me the opponent's going for a big Wrath again. Yeah, opponent's last 2 cards in hand were Galvanic Discharge, Wrath of the Skies. Wowie, wow, wow. Okay, well, we can rebuild. Let's start off with Risen Reef. Actually, we don't really have to go for anything else quite yet, so we'll pass to the opponent. Quantum Riddler. Yeah. You know what, we will actually... Can we just go ahead and consign Ephemerating that? I think so. Just grab out our last basic here. Let's go ahead and Solitude that. Alright, Risen Reef, do your thing. Find some good stuff. Does opponent have... No shot. No shot. Man, the opponent here has absolutely everything they need in every situation. Wow. So they get to stop our Risen Reef, stop our Solitude, they get to keep their Quantum Riddler. That is insane. And we can't stop drawing lands! Yeah, maybe I should have got my last fetchable out of the deck. Okay, let's just do this. Opponent is just beyond lucky here. No point in attacking. Or actually, let's just go ahead and get our last fetchable out. Onto the opponent. Take an Ice-Fang. This opponent got to draw 2 off their Quantum Riddler. Now they get to Fairy. Bounces our Abhorrent Oculus. Draws 2 more cards. Wow, opponent's just getting to tutor, basically. Go ahead and turn this. So we can get rid of the Teferi here. And we've got Abhorrent Oculus. Well, it's got the Phelia, which puts them down to where they get to draw 2 again. Guess we'll take the Solitude. Expressive Iteration is new. Again, incredible top deck. One of them's a land, the other one's probably Solitude. No, it's a Flage, which feels about as bad. Okay, they're trying to hit our Solitude. That's not that big of an issue. Issue is now they have a Flage in the graveyard. I do think we would like to use this to keep the opponent from drawing. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we'll replicate it once. Ah, yes, this is just a line they can take. So block, kill the Phelia. They'll get up a Quantum Riddler though. Just go ahead and turn this face up. That way we can F6, because something tells me this match might go to time. I think being up on time is going to be pretty important, because this is game 1. We're both 10 minutes down with game 1. Yeah, it comes back. They draw 3. Back up to 4. We'll probably draw a land. Called it. Called it. And we're out of fetchables. We have all of our lands that we can have, basically. Grab Risen Reef. At least it's not hasted, but there goes our Ice-Fang Coatl, our best blocker. Let's go ahead and flip you. So now if we draw an elemental, be in a pretty cool spot. Okay, Abhorrent Oculus is still Abhorrent Oculus, I suppose. Strict Serenade, sure. Yeah. Just realized we're down to 15 cards in library. That's what this might end up coming down to. Man, if only flipping these face up counted as manifesting. Oh, they're blinking Flage. So this allows for them to win next turn if things go their way. Alright, so we do need to top deck an answer here. Oh, well, never mind, opponents just got it. Alright, let's go to the next one. Our deck only has 22 lands, and I think we drew pretty much all of them. Okay, here we're going to cut 3 Abhorrent Oculus and Ephemerate and Endurance to bring in 3 Mystical Dispute of Force of Negation and 2 Teferi. Round the play, this is a reasonable hand, we'll keep. Opponent mulligans to 6. Just lead off Lush Portico, and Quantum Riddler's reasonable. Onto the opponent. Alright, I will shock in Breeding Pool here, and let's go ahead and play out the Birthing Ritual. Alright, Ice-Fang Coatl, fine card. Same with Risen Reef. Let's go for the Ice-Fang Coatl though. I think we can get more value out of the Risen Reef later on in the game. Okay. Yeah, if they have to Galvanic Discharge one, I'd prefer it be the Coatl. Draws a Consign. Onto the opponent. Okay, just plays land, says go. Green, green, blue, white. Meticulous Archive. Don't know if there's much that we'd put to the graveyard. That seems pretty solid. I think we just go for it. I think we have to. Okay, our one of Abhorrent Oculus. It is now stuck in our hand. The thing we were trying to avoid. And then we hit nothing off of our birthing ritual. Excellent, excellent. All is planned. Opponent will never see it coming. Okay, this is a Blade from the opponent. Let's get some value going here. So no Abhorrent Oculuses for us in this match. Oh, opponent concedes it? Okay. Oh, I guess let's run it back. Phenomenal. 10 out of 10 hand. Let's see how bad this goes. Yeah, by the way, it is 3:10 a.m. in the morning for me. I'm ready to go to sleep. I have been for quite some time. But I must make content. The YouTube lords prefer me make content for you. Okay, Phelia. Hopefully they exile something of theirs next turn. And then we get to consign to memory it. Perfect, they've fallen for the trap. Okay, Wrath of Skies in graveyard. Yeah, no reason they would think they need it right now. Well, it does have a full hand, but I mean, so do we. Lage. Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, man. Endurance off top, please. Okay, nothing more suspicious than somebody just shocking in a Sacred Foundry. What all do we want to try to go for? So we'll probably just try to Phelia and Mystical Dispute during their turn. So we'll just play this, say go. Honestly, maybe just Mystical Dispute the Flage here. Let's try it. What's the worst that could happen? They Mystical Dispute us back. Okay, Birthing Ritual. Interesting, interesting. Yeah, let's see what that's about. Okay, opponent's probably about to do something devious here. Just a plains. Oh man. I wanted that. Alright, on to you. We are missing land drops now. Okay, there's a Phelia. There's a Quantum Riddler. Let's go for the Risen Reef. Land onto the battlefield, and then we can Solitude if we feel like it. Okay, opponent casts a Solitude of their own. Trying to figure out what I want to make of this. You know what? what? I think we are just okay with that happening because we'd prefer probably just hardcast our Solitudes. So yeah, opponent, pop off, do your thing. And their thing is hitting us for 2. Yeah, and they don't exile their Solitude here. Aww. So white, white, blue, blue, blue. We need more green. Green, white, green, white, green, white. So now the question is, do they have Ephemerate? Got a way to check. Definitely feels like they do. Oh, fire. You know what? Here, I think I'm okay flashing in Phelia. And then let's just see if we can trade Phelias here. Okay, they allow the Phelia trade. Oh, I just gave them enough cards in graveyard to flage. That's on me, dog. It is late. Yeah, here it comes. Alright, is Flage. Probably hitting our Risen Reef. What we could do is Solitude that. Go ahead and get Phelia out of our Risen Reef here. Yeah, let's just do that. Alright, let's see what gets made of all this. Land. Get some lands out of our deck here. Grab plains. Get this, grab a forest, I guess. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So let's cast the Quantum Riddler, or warp it rather. And maybe just hard cast the other one. Hopefully that doesn't spell doom for us. And who knows, maybe after this turn, if the opponent's got nothing important, we can start playing the game. Ooh, I don't like the way that Arena of Glory looks. Okay. Nothing over yonder. Lush Portico. Keep that on top. What if we just go for more Quantum Riddlers? Oh, hold on. I need blue mana. Okay, we gotta start doing damage eventually. Sorry, just thinking about this here. I think what we're supposed to do is cast the Solitude. Exile the Quantum Riddler. And then Consign to Memory Replicated. Keep the Solitude around. And then now, we'll draw extra cards during our draw step. All right. All right, everybody, we're back. 4-1. Honestly, pretty confident in the deck. The Ephemerates and the Consign seemed like they underperformed just a little bit. They weren't bad, but they weren't great. There were a lot of situations that we got into where we just ran out of creatures. Opponent controlled us out somewhat, and then we would draw Ephemerates or Consigns, and they were just kind of sitting there doing nothing. I'm not saying you cut them completely, but I do think you trim down. Maybe you go down an Ephemerate or two. Maybe you cut one Consigned in memory. Hard to say, but I will say this. Compared to the typical ritual decks, I do like the way this one feels, mostly because of Solitude. Another thing I didn't like about the deck was Quantum Riddler plus Abhorrent Oculus. We got into a lot of situations where Abhorrent Oculus was just stuck in our hand and didn't allow us to draw extra cards with Quantum Riddler. That was a little awkward. Maybe that was just a variance thing, but all in all, deck performed really well. And you should consider giving this deck a try for yourself. But that's it for the wrap-up. Thank you all for watching. Like, subscribe, comment what deck you want to see me play next, and I'll see y'all tomorrow. Peace out.